This isn't working. The sound isn't working. What did I do? 7 participants only.
All right, you can hear me now on there, right? That's an obvious idea. Wait 1 sec. All right, we got 2 more chairs. Neil, you can. Where's Neil? Neil, you got your chair back right there. All right, turn your mic on. Oh, we got to raise this now, Ben. Do we need to raise the mic now? I mean the. Okay. All right.
They're still coming. It's so great.
All right. Is your mic on?
Yes.
Must be a lot of people there.
Bruce forgot it.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la On your prayer books on page 1. No, I don't need those yet. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fehayo.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Maya Fehayo. Shabbat Shalom. Well, who would have thunk? Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
It's really wonderful to have the opportunity for our congregations to share a great Shabbat. We wanted to take the moment, because it's two congregations and it's fairly mixed in here. We were going to tell you to get up and find someone that you don't know and introduce yourself. I'm not going to suggest that at all. Rather, look around someone near you that you don't know and introduce yourself, learn something about each other. Folks online, do it as well if you would. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
All right, enough. Most of you should have received a supplement, little sheet on along with your service book. So if you put it on there, if you would, Ben. Song number 1, Or Zarua.
It's got clapping, so get ready. Or Zarua, Latzadik, O Yisrael, get ready. Or Zarua, Latzadik, O Yisrael, Simcha.
Or Zarua, Latzadik, O Yisrael, Simcha.
O Yisrael, Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, O Yisrael, Simcha. O Yisrael, Simcha.
Latzadik, O Yisrael, Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, O Yisrael, Simcha. We usher in Shabbat with the lighting of the Shabbat candles found on the bottom of page 1.
Come, Allison.
Take your mic over to.
You sure are. You're full service.
Wow. I can't do it with one hand. That's the point. No, I got it. It's okay. I can't light the candles. Oh, you're gonna light it? Oh, nice. Okay. Midrash Bereshit Rabbah teaches that the first Shabbat was a day of continuous light, a sacred light created by God that lasted 36 hours. That light has been hidden away from us since. It is our job to bring this organus, this sacred light, back into the world by acts of tzedakah and loving kindness. That is how God shines in the world. As it says in our sacred texts, Or Zarua Latzadik, light is sown for the righteous. Baruch Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Oh, jeez.
Here, take. Take it.
Clearly, there's been spills previously.
Top page 2. think I gotta go one more. Wait a minute. I don't think we're good. Here we go. Here we go, right now. Nechunaranena la Adonai, Naria litzor yishenu. Nechunaranena la Adonai, Naria litzor yishenu. Mikadma fana pitoda bizmirot Naria lo. Nikadma fana pitoda bizmirot Naria lo. Nechunaranena la Adonai, Naria litzor yishenu. Nechunaranena la Adonai, Naria litzor yishenu. Nikadma fana pitoda bizmirot Naria lo. Nikadma fana pitoda bizmirot Naria lo. Nikadma fana pitoda bizmirot Naria lo. In the middle of page 2, we read responsively.
Worship releases the music of our souls in rhythm with the universe. Our prayers sing of excitement and joy, of gratitude and tenderness and love.
Together.
Our souls I appreciate the fact that you joined in where it was supposed to be me. Together, please, we pray. Our hearts rejoice with those around us whose love and support brings us courage. Let our dreams become a reality.
Let's all enter to the sanctuary in search and in need. All who bring into this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here today be just fulfill our words and our hopes with acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
On page 3, Lechadodi, verses 1, 2, and 5. We can get people to stand for the 5th.
Why not? Absolutely.
So just one thing before we continue. It's tight in here. There's going to be times when for some people it's your tradition to stand. It's tight in here. So if you're going to, please just be careful and safe. And if it's too much and you don't stand, if God minds, she'll let us know. So please, when the time comes, so for many of us, on the last verse of Lecha Dodi, it's traditional to rise to welcome the Shabbat bride by facing the door. If you do that, you might bump the mic, but that's okay. So let's do it. Here we go. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, yada la, yada la, yada la, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, yada la, yada la, yada la, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Hishmianu Elham Yilchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'hidila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, yada la, yada la, yada la, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, yada la, yada la, yada la, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ha'aseh v'machshevat tehila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, yada la, yada la, yada la, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha
lecha dodi likra kala, ya la 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 la, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
If it's your tradition to rise.
Boi leshalom ateret ba'ala,
Gam b'simcha
ובצולה
Tochemune am segula Boi chala
בואי חלה
Lecha dodi
לך דודי לך קלה יאללה לה יאללה לה יאללה לה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לך קלה יאללה לה יאללה לה יאללה לה בני שבת נקבלה.
If it's your tradition to rise for the Baruch Hu, we do so in just a second. But before we do, what I wanted to do, it was a little chaotic at the start, which is kind of emblematic for our weeks that are sometimes kind of chaotic. So as we've done our warm-up and we enter into that space of prayer, deep breath. Beautiful. Again. If it's your tradition to rise for the Baruch Hu on the bottom of page 5. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated.
Page 6.
We read responsively.
Praise be God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings on the evening. Your wisdom opens heaven's gates. Your understanding makes the ages pass and the seasons alternate, and your will controls the stars as they travel through the sky. Please.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha hafta Another cantor, all right. Torah u'mitzvot Mishpatim Otanu limadeta Otanu limadeta Hokein Adonai Eloheinu b'shofeinu Uvkumeinu nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavaka al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema, you're doing Mr. Page.
I did. Hold a moment. I'm going.
Page
Oh, look at that.
7.
There's a Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad.
Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levadecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odeha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevaveha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Turning the page responsibly.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone are our God. There is none else. And we are Israel, your people.
You are our ruler. You deliver us from the hands of oppressors and save us from the fists of tyrants.
You do wonders without number, marvels that pass our understanding.
You give us our life. By your help we survive all who seek our destruction.
You did wonders in the land of Egypt, miracles and marvels in the land of Pharaoh.
You led God's people Israel out forever to serve you in freedom.
When your children witnessed your power, they extolled you and gave you thanks. Freely they claimed you ruler, and full of joy, Moses and Israel sang this song. Now, one word. Emanuel has this tradition with this song, and it is that we woo at the appropriate time. We don't just woo willy-nilly. It's a contained woo, but it's joyful. And it reflects that we are indeed free. And it also reflects we have a lot of work to do. So when we woo, I want you to join with us, even if you're really not too sure about the whole thing, all right? Page 8, bottom of the page.
Ya la 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 la
La, 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 la. First one's coming. Get ready.
la 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 la.
Woo! La, 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 la. You'll get it second time. La, 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'etam b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei pelech, nora tehilot osei pelech. Malchutecha ובניך, בוקר הים לפני משה. זה אלי אנו ואמרו, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, Adonai Yilov. Here it comes, get ready right now. Woo! Adonai Yilov, le'olam va'ed. La 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 la. Let's make it big. Woo! La 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 la. La 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 la. Turns out you Hakafars really know how to woo. I'm very impressed.
Who knew? We
Who
knew how to
knew?
woo. On the bottom of page 9, we read together. Adonai, our God, help us lie down in peace and raise us up again, our ruler to life. Spread over us the shelter of your peace and help us to improve ourselves through your good counsel. Save us for the sake of your name. Defend us and keep us far away from enemies, illness, war, hunger, and sadness. Remove our desire to do evil when it stares us in the face and as it follows us. In the shadow of your wings, give us shelter. For you are God, you are our protector and rescuer. For you are God, you are a kind and merciful ruler. Guard our going out and our coming in, that we may have life and peace now and always. You are blessed, Adonai, who guards the people of Israel for all time. Turning the page, top of the page.
Page 10.
That's the page.
Oh,
Good enough. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'koreh, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'koreh, oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat, Kulam Yismehu V'yitagru B'tuvecha Shabbat. Yismehu V'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat V'koreh, oneg Shabbat. Yismehu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'koreh, oneg Shabbat. Mehashvi ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat, hem hajamim oto parata, Zecher le'maseh v'reshit. Yismehu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'koreh, oneg Shabbat. Yismehu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'koreh, oneg Shabbat.
we rise physically or spiritually for our tefillah, the bottom of page 10.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi להגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה
Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Velohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei ha'akol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol Atah, Rav lahoshi. Morid Hatah, Morid Hatah. Mechaken Chaim b'chesed, Mechayeh hakol Sarit Rachamim Ravim. Somech noflim ve'rofeh holim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishanei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurah, umido melach, melech ne'mit umchayei, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol.
You may be seated.
Atah Kadosh Nimcha Kadosh.
Middle of page 13.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam Be'ahavat Tikabel U'tehil Ratzon Tamid U'tehil Ratzon Tamid Avodat Yisrael Amecha Baruch Atah Adonai She'otecha levadecha Be'ir hanavod She'otecha levadecha Be'ir hanavod.
Turning the page. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atah Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Ki atah Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Omrav O Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam. Should we talk first?
Why not? We'll talk first.
So in lieu of a sermon,
I know. My congregation feels the same way.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
I held out for that, so thank you, Lee. Your check's in the mail. Shelley and I just thought we'd have a little conversation in front of you to hopefully spur some conversation amongst us, either in this room or when we go in the other room for Nash in a little bit. This week's Torah portion, Bamidbar. How many of you had it for your Bar Bat B'nai Benot Brit Mitzvah? A couple of
Anybody?
us, yeah. It's the one of the census. It is a long list of numbers. Now, one of the interesting parts about that is that at the beginning, it lists all of the leaders of each tribe. I guess I am giving a sermon.
You're giving a sermon.
And interesting, every one of them has the name of God in their name, except for one, Nachshon, who many of us know from the Midrash is the one who caused the sea to split when he stepped into the water when no one else could. And his name means snake. So all the people who had the name of God in their names stood back, but the one who was a snake stepped forward. Now that has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today, but just one of those interesting
Not
facts.
at all.
But one of the things about that is who you expect to step forward and who really does step forward. Maybe the expectations are in the wrong place. Yeah. That being said, when Shelley and I spoke on the phone, I said to Shelley, I'm going to throw a question to you. Given the fact that this is about the census, how's that working for us as Jews today?
All right, so let's talk a little bit about counting and counting people in Jewish tradition. It's a no-no. How do we know it's a no-no? Well, God is really pretty clear. So in Exodus, where there is a census, of course, right? And what we know about that is God says, hey, this is what we're going to do. I would like for each person to give half a shekel, and then you're going to count the money. Because if you count people, there's going to be a plague. God's very clear. Now, King David either didn't read the memo or forgot the memo, but King David in Samuel 2 makes a boo-boo and counts people. And guess what happens? There's a plague. Don't say you weren't forewarned. Now, Bruce, why do you think you can't count people?
Well, I think, good pushback. No, I think for a couple reasons. I think the main reason is whenever people decide to count people, it never goes well. I mean, look, if you think about the census in the United States, which is designed, if we take it for the positive, it is designed to figure out who needs services and how we can get services to the most people in the best kind of way. But we know that when you give people the opportunity to do the right thing, too many times they use it for own private purposes. So when humans count each other, it rarely is for good reason. So let's talk about counting the Jewish people. Shelley?
Oh, we're just vague. All right, well, here's one idea, right? So the individual is important in Judaism, certainly. But how much more so when we're together? How much stronger we become when we lift each other up. And it doesn't become necessarily about what I want solely, but I consider you as part of the equation, right? All of the prayer, we always make jokes in our house. Whenever we sing Elohim, new, whenever we have a new, we like to hit it big in my house. Well, that means us and we, right? It doesn't mean me. We pray in the collective because it's about, our religion is one of action. And that action is to see the reflection of God in the other. Bruce?
I feel like we're on an SNL skit from 1974. Jane? I didn't mean the rest of that. Oh my God.
You just dated yourself, though. Right?
Oh
Jane?
God. Oh God.
Dan Aykroyd.
No, here's what I'll say. Look, the constant pressure on the Jewish community to worry about its numbers, to be driven by this Jewish continuity, which only relies on numbers. And at the same time, as we see the aging of the religious community in America in general, we have to maybe rethink about what it means to count. And I think what you were saying was more or less to count on. I was having a conversation with a 20-something who said to me, "Why are you old people so concerned about counting us? We're doing just fine. We're finding our Judaism. It might just not be in the place that you want it." So what I would say is this whole idea of a sense. Well, first of all, do you know in Yiddish how Jews count? No? Does anyone know? No, not with the Yiddish numbers, but with the superstition, because you're not allowed to do a census. Instead of counting when they want to count, they say not one, not two, not three. It's true. Yeah. It's true. Let's try that sometime. But in all honesty, what I can say that I love about Hakafa, and I'm going to project this onto you and Emanuel because the spirit in here is really kind of beautiful, right? Is that it does take more than one person to create a community, but when you have two, wow. Because you can sing in harmony, even if you can't sing. And I mean it because it's not about the chord. It's about the accordance. It's about sticking together. It's about being. And that's not just an excuse for us saying, oh, well, our congregations are becoming old. It's really not. It's about appreciating that we are who we are in the space that we are, and that really counts. Each and every one of us, which means all of us. That sounds a little Pollyannish, but okay, I love Polly. Because sometimes on a Shabbat, with all the proverbial you know what's going on out there, we just need the opportunity to love, be loved, and be together.
Yep. Amen. That's
Bring it
beautiful.
to a close.
No, I think you just said it, right? It's that, the idea that we can lift each other up in the smallest of ways. Really, it doesn't take much, does it? It's most of the time it's just a smile. That's really all it takes. The human beings don't need a lot. If you just give them a little, it's enough. And that's our job. That's our job as Jews. So.
And when it doesn't work, there's really good oneg.
Right.
Let me
There's brownies.
Let me bring it to that if I can for a moment, because it's really, we haven't even talked about why we're here together as part of this being counted together. And that's because someone at Emanuel reached out to us. We were looking to reach out actually to Emanuel just to find a way, if there's a reason, if there's an interest in some kind of programming suburban urban. We have two congregations that are very similar in our makeups. Does it make sense for us to find a way on occasion to be together? So we did it a month ago with our Drag Queen Story Hour, Shabbat Shekhinah. We've done it with young adults, and we wanted to try it here in a place that's really important to us at Hakafa. We at Hakafa? To us. Us at Hakafa. What? Yes. New. Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you all know about Kurt's Cafe? No. Kurt's is a non-for-profit that was started to teach at-risk young adults life skills and a trade, basically how to work in the food industry. That there's an 8-week program that after they pass through the program, they are placed in various food-providing institutions to be able to take the steps that they need to function as with us. So it was started about 12 years ago here, and there's a second one up in Highland Park. So we at Hakafa don't have a building. Our worship service is by and large at the Winnetka Community House, but we've been doing more and more at Kurt's Cafe throughout the past couple years, because we believe in supporting institutions that support the community. And we like brownies, and they're really good brownies. So you're going to see, this is not a pitch, but when we collect tzedakah at the end of every Shabbat, there is a tzedakah cylinder out there that the money will go to support the work of Kurtz. And I'll also tell you, although this is not the announcements part, because this is the talk part, but I'm going to announce it, that any drink you want over there, just tell Eli, and it's already taken care of. It's all part of what we're doing here. And if you want to learn more about Kurtz, you can talk with Eli. It's really a wonderful part of the community here. That's what it is to be counted together. Thank you.
I love
Anything else?
That was beautiful. You had
Page
too much
19, I believe. The Misha Berach, the prayer for healing, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, whatever all you want to come up with. The tradition of Emanuel is to read a list. After Emanuel's list is read, I'm going to ask people on Zoom if there's anyone that they would like to mention, and then anybody in the room that you would like to mention, and then we will go back and sing. In between the verses, that's when we'll do it, if we can.
Carlos Barrios, Stephen
In between
Engel.
the verses.
Oh, in between the verses, I'm reading. You said that just now. Yes. I'm with you. Now I know.
I'm
You meant
singing
in
your key.
between the verses.
I'm singing in your key.
It's very kind.
Misha Avotenu Mekor Haraha Imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Carlos Barrios, Stephen Engelman, Marcy Gilbert, Phyllis Goldblatt, Nancy Hagen Goldstucker, John Greenfield, Les Jacobs, Molly Levine, Miriam Lyon, Lynn Pavilon, Tally Stein, Cameron Michael Taft, Eddie Tucker.
Anybody on Zoom, if you can unmute now.
Michael Barnett, Eileen Goldberg,
Jack on YouTube?
Herbie Roskin.
Not yet? Okay.
Is that it? Anybody in here? Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. On page 20, the words of Aleinu. If it's your tradition to rise, I ask that you do so now.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כהמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים Hakadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yihyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo,
Echad. On this Shabbat Bamidbar, we recall the memories of
Amelie Beck, Richard Bitterman, Rose S. Cohn, Charles S. Cohn, Maurice Ehrlich, Nettie Farber, Phineas Galipter, Jean Glass, Leon Glassman, Sherry Goodman, Menashe Gordon, Louise Guth, Chester Kaplan, Elaine Falk-Katz, Max Kaufman, Elizabeth Kreplik, Esther Lavin, Elsie Marks, Michael Melzer, Charles I. Mills, Alvin Popple, Sam Riff, Leslie Bitterman Roberts, Ronnie Russell, Hedwig Sager, Adolf D. Scharf, Judy Skier, Ethel Steiner, George Van Emden, and in recent days, Hud Engelhardt, Fred Skier.
Jerome Berliner, Edward Bloom, Florence Cholden, Myra Ellman, Evelyn Hirsch, Erwin Kleinman, Milton Marion, Seymour Neems, Monica Parsons, Morris Rigler, Bernard Ripstein, Steve Rosenberg, Francis Schmeling, Gertrude Shapiro, Philip Jacoby Stern, Barbara Wolanski, two for whom we are in the period of Shiva, Joseph Abrams, Jean Siegel. Online, is there anyone else who needs to be mentioned? In the room, is there anyone else who needs to be mentioned? Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Kadisha Tome, Mourner's Kaddish, page 20. 22. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach irutei v'amlik malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lomei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei v'kudusha b'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imiru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imiru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imiru. Amen. You may be seated. Ezra, come here. Go in the other room and get either a cookie or a brownie, whatever you want to eat, and bring it in here on a napkin for Moxie, okay? Watch the corner. On your sheet, the supplemental sheets, if you would put that up, please. Song number 2. Lo yisago el goy perev, lo yimeldu od milchama, lo yisago el goy perev, lo yimeldu od milchama, lo yisago el goy perev, lo yimeldu od milchama, lo yisago el goy perev, lo yimeldu od milchama. Lo yisago el goy perev, lo yimeldu od milchama. Lo yisago el goy perev, lo yimeldu od milchama. yisagoy el goy heref, lo yimedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy heref, lo yimedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy heref, lo yimedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy heref, lo yimedu od milchama. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the river. Lo yisagoy, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yimeldu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yimeldu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yisagoy. Let's get some juice.
some kiddush.
We're doing some kiddush here.
We're doing some
We're
kiddush.
doing some kiddush.
Am I drinking alone?
You are drinking alone.
All right. If you feel comfortable physically to rise, you may, and if you don't, you don't. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yam tehila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'alim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim. You may be seated, except for you. You got to get up. Get over here. Now, what you don't know is that challah comes in many shapes and sizes. Sometimes it comes in the shape of a brownie because the rabbi forgot the challah. Okay, so I braided this in a certain kind of way. So even though it looks like, for those of you who need to say Borei Minei Mizonot, please feel free. To me, it is challah. And since Ezra chose the particular piece of challah, you want to lead us? You want me to do it? Go for it. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Take a bite. You got to eat it in front of everybody. Take a bite in front of everyone.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
put it
so
back.
hard
Cover
to
back
be
up.
Jewish sometimes.
All right. So here's the deal, folks. I know it's tight in here. It's going to be a little tight in there as well. Yes, I know. In a moment, we are going to break. But before we do, and what I'm going to tell you, I'll give you instructions after that. What? In a moment. In a moment. We will do it. That's a great thing to do. I love that idea. Then we're getting out Jude here. Perfect. You have a special, someone has a very, Cantor, you don't even know this.
What?
Someone has a very special presentation that they'd like to make on your behalf. Sammy, is that you? You want to come on up? Do you need, here, we got your stick, your walking stick here if you need. Come on over to the cantor if you would.
Hi. What you doing here?
Let me do a little speech here before we...
Come turn around. So I can see.
Good Shabbos, everyone, and welcome to being here. Yes.
yourself.
Yeah, loud as I can.
Yes, as loud as you can.
Yeah. My name is Sammy Sagi. In addition, I am presenting this gift to you in addition to some other music for the high holidays. I present in, in addition to Cantor Shelley Drucker Friedman, I present a special gift for the high holidays. One of my favorite songs is Rosh Hashanah Iktuvenu O Yom Kippurim.
Okay, no, it's because, Sammy, it gets me nervous.
No,
Just
don't
say
get-
it's only May.
Yeah, I know. In addition to some other music as well. I hope you will enjoy this gift and enjoy it for years to come. Thank you, Cantor Shelley, for all you have done. Enjoy it.
You made my day.
Yes, you're really going to enjoy it.
I know oh, look. It's, oh, wow.
We're gonna help. That's good. And now someone from Hakafa has a special gift for the rabbi. I think it's a wonderful idea, first time together, to do a Shehechianu together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. So normally there would be chairs out there for people to sit around the tables, but the chairs are all in here. So we are going to leave it to your devices because that's the best that we can do. Some of folks want to take some chairs out there and put them around some tables. We can pull a couple tables out here if we need to bring folks in here. Please, 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 don't talk to only the people you know. What makes community is the fact that we are here together to get to know each other. So please, find someone you don't know, gossip about someone else you don't know, and let's just share the Shabbat together. Everybody, Shabbat Shalom. Wait 1 second, Sammy, wait 1 second.